This video was created by Vinylic Puma of Vinylic Puma Gaming. Warning, vulgarity awaits. What's going on, guys? This is Vinylic Puma, and today is Tuesday, and I'm going to go ahead and answer the questions that some of you guys asked in part one of this two-part subscriber Q&A video, so let's go. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and start off with Abdel Aziz bin Darwish. I hope I pronounced that right. And he asks, which Borderlands game is your favorite and why? I think as an RPG, Borderlands 1 is definitely the strongest of the three games. However, my favorite game in the franchise and what actually got me back into gaming is Borderlands 2. I feel like I should say, though, that Borderlands the pre-sequel is probably the best game when it comes to balance at endgame, but really I just like all three of the games. Next up, we have Buffalo Wing Gamer 1, and he asks, how did you get into gaming? Well, to be honest, I don't really remember initially, but I do know that Borderlands 2 actually got me back into gaming. I had a GameCube and a PlayStation 2 back when they were relevant in the early 2000s, and then when they announced the Wii and the PlayStation 3, I just lost interest, and I think a lot of that was because the Wii had this bizarre, fucked up controller, and then the PlayStation 3 was like $600, and really I didn't game much for like 6 to 7 years. So about 3 years ago, I had a cousin come down for a family gathering, and he brought his Xbox 360 with a copy of Borderlands 2 and Dishonored. And what we did is we played local co-op for Borderlands 2, and I knew at that point that I had to get a 360 and a copy of Borderlands 2. And really ever since, I've been gaming again. So that's pretty cool. And now we have Desalle Zillow, who asks, besides Borderlands, what are your favorite top 10 video games? So this is probably going to show my age here a little bit, but these are my favorite games pretty much ever made in no particular order. Super Smash Bros. Melee, Metroid Prime 1, Resident Evil 4, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Pokemon Fire Red and or the original Pokemon Red, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Czar, Burden of the Crown, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, Final Fantasy VI, otherwise known as Final Fantasy III in North America, and Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer. Then we have Mark Basilio, who asks, will you be getting Fallout 4 or Star Wars Battlefront? Ultimately, I'm going to be getting Fallout 4. My main concern with Star Wars Battlefront is that it doesn't have a single-player campaign. It's a shame because I think DICE could have done something really amazing, and really I liked the campaign mode in Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now, Rubin Major asks, have you ever watched an anime? Yes. I might date myself a little bit here, but I really liked Dragon Ball Z and Gundam Wing back in the day on Toonami. But recently I've been on a bit of an anime binge, and I've watched Kill la Kill, Gurren Lagann, Samurai Champloo, Attack on Titan, and Sword Art Online. And actually right now I'm in the middle of watching Akame ga Kill. Alright, so we're going to go back to some Borderlands questions now, and we have, I believe this is Rarl, it's W-R-A-R-R-L, and he asks, what features from the previous Borderlands games do you want to see more of in Borderlands 3, and what features do you really not want to see? In my opinion, Borderlands at its core is a game about guns, and Gearbox should really explore the nuances of guns themselves. For example, I'd like to see both hollow point and full metal jacket type ammo for pistols and SMGs, and maybe regular shot and buckshot loads for shotguns. Maybe hollow point would pair well with fire weapons, where full metal jacket ammo would pair well with corrosive weapons. I'd kind of like to see them get into like how the bullets, when they hit the enemy, deal damage, and That would be kind of interesting. I'd also like to see official mod support for the PC version of Borderlands 3. Borderlands 3 needs to create a strong community like the Fallout and Elder Scrolls games have over a long period of time. Considering that Fallout 4 is also going to have mod support on Xbox One, there's absolutely no reason that 2K and Gearbox shouldn't do this. This question actually could be its own video, and I might make one video like this sooner or later. Maybe. Alright, so now we have Nova the Strong, and he asks, do you plan on doing Borderlands 1 guides? I ask because when Borderlands 1 is going to be released as backwards compatible on Xbox One, all of the Borderlands 1 videos and guide tutorials will get a ton of views. I am planning on doing some Borderlands 1 videos at some point. As for specifics, I'd like to keep that a secret for now. Then we have 22 Redstone King, and he asks, do you like the idea of a Borderlands movie? No, I'd probably go see it, maybe, but I'm not sure if it would be any good or not. Most movies based on video games haven't been very good. That said, though, I think they did a really good job with the first Resident Evil movie, if you've seen that. All right, and then finally we have Terry W., and he asks, Vinylic Puma, who do you watch on YouTube? Who's your greatest influence? And how do you handle nasty or offensive comments? And then he asks some others, and he says here, who would win in a fight between Moxie and Captain Scarlet? And why doesn't Knuckle Dragger have any knuckles? As far as people I watch on YouTube, it kind of varies. Lately, I've been watching The Angry Video Game Nerd, Review Tech USA, Mundane Matt, The Angry Joe Show. I've been watching Angry Joe for a while. Alpha Mega Sin off and on, and then Total Biscuit off and on. Adam Korlek is also pretty cool because he talks about the history of video game consoles. As far as influences, I'd probably say I'm more influenced by like The Angry Video Game Nerd. Who isn't, I guess. Most of my comments really haven't been too bad. I haven't really had to ban anybody in my comments section, but that may change in the future. I don't know. Now, as for who would win in a fight, I'd probably say Moxie. Whoa. Wait a minute. Knuckle Dragger doesn't have any knuckles. What a boatload of ass! Anyway, guys, that's going to pretty much wrap up this Q&A. If you did like this video, please be sure to leave a like. If I didn't answer your question, don't worry. I think I am definitely going to be doing this again later on in the future. And as always, take care, and I'll see y'all next time.